So let's take this from the top, shall we? Number one, the reason why I didn't cover Gen V on the channel is because I really didn't enjoy season 2 as much as I did season 1. I kind of figured out the twist with Cypher and Godokin really early, and I was kind of hoping that wasn't the case because the dude who played the Dean was fantastic as the villain. Kind of wish that he was going to be the villain continuing through the entire thing, and it wasn't going to be like this big twist reveal. It ended up being a big twist reveal, and everything ended up playing out the way in which I thought it would, which is any of the threats that these super powerful soups were going to present were all going to be dealt with in Gen V, and we were really only going to get the characters from the show as like filler for the boys, where they weren't going to be like main members of the casts working with everybody. They were probably going to show up in maybe 1 episode, 2 episodes, maybe the last 2 episodes before the big battle, and then that was essentially going to be it across the board. And that kind of killed my mood for the entire season. So I didn't do any type of content for the season, but we here to do content about this because goddamn, he beating the hell out of somebody. And we need to figure out who it is. I have a prevailing theory, though. I saw online a bunch of people talking about he's killing A-Train here. No, you don't get this face. Let me see something. Let's jump back to when the beating first begins. So we see A-Train here, and this is at the concentration camp, which is where Huey is essentially being held. Really early on, because we see Starlight again. So we see Huey at the concentration camp, which is basically the Vought correction camp for people that are standing up against the soups. This is where Huey and anyone who was captured at the end of last season was essentially taken to. Then we see Starlight essentially nuking the camp, where she's drawing in a crazy amount of energy. And shout out to Starlight. She has been getting power boosts after power boost for the last 3 seasons, but when you really sit back and you think about it, she's really been one of 3 soups that has been actively fighting and trying to like master her powers. So they are most certainly well deserved. We saw her go like supersonic at the end of last season, and we see her absorbing a shit. I have never seen her absorb energy like to this extent where she's absorbing lightning. So this may be a continuation of whatever the power boost was that she had essentially last season. But we get to this point here. Where is it? We see him beating somebody. This is not at the camp. This is somewhere else where Homelander is just laying, because we see A-Train put the shades on here, but this is all happening at the concentration camp. This beating right here is happening somewhere else, where he is beating the life out of somebody on the ground. But I really want you to pay attention to his face. Anthony Starr has done a fantastic job as Homelander. It is the small, it's the small details into how he tries to mask his emotion and when the mask cracks just a little bit. And you can see like in this scene that he's trying to essentially suppress those emotions, whatever this connection is. He is deeply connected with this person. It's almost like when he had to kill Black Noir, where like he had like this face of almost regret, like, yeah, I'm gonna have to slime you, but I really don't want to have to slime you. Like, I kind of wish that you would come out and tell me about my dad. And if you look in the background, there's all this destruction that's up against the wall, which means he's fighting someone that is on his level, which means he's either fighting Soldier Boy, which maybe, but kind of unlikely. But at the exact same time, he's fighting somebody on his level, so it could be Soldier Boy. But I think in this moment right here, he is fighting Ryan. And I think he is killing Ryan. And that's going to be the catalyst that finally pushes him over and sends him into the death spiral for the final confrontation with Butcher. Because Butcher really does need, I wouldn't really say he needs the extra oomph, but he really does need like that thing that happens that's going to make him fully bloodlust and ignore any of the warnings or suggestions from his friends that kind of has him going a little bit down the dark path like his comic book counterpart, where it reinforces the fact that Butcher is a piece of shit. Ryan dying would be the thing that tips Butcher over the edge fully and has him go full demon mode on not only the boys, but then also Homelander himself. Because Butcher doesn't really need the extra push, but it's the extra just tip, the extra just that extra just nudge over into madness where he just spirals and goes after Homelander, because there's like this look of regret. You don't really ever see like that look of regret on Homelander's face, which is why I'm honing in on the fact that this is definitely someone he has a deep connection with. And the only two people that he has that deep connection with is Soldier Boy, which I find it unlikely that that's who's dying here. I feel as though the boys are probably going to fight, neutralize, and kill Soldier Boy somewhere else. And the only other person that's probably almost as strong as him, not as strong as him, but he's growing into being as strong as him, and would get him to react in such a way where he is regretting killing them. Because look at the damage on his suit. Someone hit him with an optical blast, because his chest, it's knocked open and it's burned and he's scarred right there. And the only person who can generate like that level of heat is most definitely Ryan in this situation. But like, when have we ever seen Homelander hesitate or hold back or look a little bit melancholy as he's killing someone? And it most definitely would make the most sense that he would kill Ryan or leave Ryan damn near on the verge of death. And that's the thing that pushes him into his end game, where he's just like, nope, whole world's human population now serves us. Everybody has to go. I'm the guy that is essentially in charge. So my vote, my pick for the person who's getting the hell beaten out of them right there is definitely Ryan. Ryan Butcher makes the most sense as the person who's getting slimed by Homelander in that situation. It doesn't make sense that Homelander would be like, "Oh my God, A-Train, we've been boys for so long. How could you do this to me? You make no." Because if you remember from a couple seasons ago, he was ready to slime A-Train when A-Train got a little bit fat. He is beating the hell out of somebody that he actually cares about, that he really doesn't want to beat and have to kill. Soldier Boy, maybe he's up there, but at the top of the list for the damage that you see on his chest piece, where you see like that burn on his chest, most definitely Ryan Butcher is getting killed in this situation, with all the damage in the background, with how his face is all messed up, with, like I said, the burn that's on his chest. He's definitely killing Ryan in the situation, or he's beating Ryan to the point where he's almost dead. It'd be interesting to see just how much they change well, we've already departed so far from the comics, but it'd be interesting to see just how much they kind of tilt it back towards the comics a little bit, since the comics is a little bit dark towards the end, and this could be the dark scene that sets up that final confrontation between both Homelander and Butcher. But let me know what you guys think. Is the person dying right here? Comment down below, let me know. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.